David and Cindy, it's an issue in society magnified by the celebrity of pro athletes. Children fathered out of wedlock. Are athletes being targeted by women? And where does the responsibility lie? All ahead today, Outside the Lines.
How many children do you have, Trevor?
I got 9.
With how many different women?
9.
Too many fathers are AWOL. Missing from too many lives and too many homes.
This social issue is seen prominently through the lives of some athletes. Today, Outside the Lines, athletes, paternity, and responsibility.
And now, reporting for Outside the Lines, Bob Lee.
This involves athletes as popular and well-regarded as the Doctor, Julius Erving, and 3-time Super Bowl champion Tom Brady. The term illegitimate even sounds quaint and outmoded given the prevalence of children born out of wedlock in the United States today. But the phenomenon, some would call it a social failing, is magnified by the celebrity and the wealth of pro athletes and the more extreme examples of affluent young men fathering numerous children by multiple women. This is a very complex and emotional issue, and Steve Delson examines it.
This one right here, this shirt, go to the blue. Ryan, right up there, boy.
On a Saturday afternoon in late December, Travis Henry and 4 of his children are playing with one of their new Christmas presents.
Move to the green, Ryan. There you go.
But while this may appear to be a typical holiday scene, Henry is hardly a typical father. How many children do you have, Trevor?
I got 9.
With how many different women?
9. This is Lauren, this is Ryan, this is Paris, and this is Essence.
Henry's home is in Denver. Although he doesn't live with any of his children, he says he spends time with all 9, all but 1 who were born out of wedlock, and who all live with their mothers in various states. His child support payments now total $17,000 per month, which was more affordable when Henry was still collecting NFL paychecks.
Do it, Daddy. No, but whoever gets it right here.
While Henry illustrates an extreme situation, many other athletes also have kids out of wedlock. This issue was first broached nationally by Sports Illustrated 10 years ago. Those who are familiar with the subject say it is still a significant issue in the sports world.
1, 2, 3, we the Henry girls.
And that it occurs more often than sports fans realize.
You don't hear about it as much as it probably happens because only when there's a problem. Thank you, Judge. Good to see you.
Randall Kessler is a lawyer who represents Henry and 9 other athletes in paternity cases.
You know, the fact that she didn't have a provision for fees.
Sometimes he also sues athletes on behalf of the mothers who they had kids with.
If athletes get good advice, they're going to pay on time. They're going to do everything they can to make sure they secure their child's future. So the little tidbit that you hear is usually the tip of the iceberg.
There are no statistics on how many athletes have children born out of wedlock, but statistics from the federal government show that in the United States, nearly 40% of children are now born out of wedlock. On Father's Day last year, during the presidential campaign, Barack Obama gave a speech sharply critical of absentee fathers.
The foundations of our family have suffered because of it. You and I know this is true everywhere, but nowhere is it more true than in the African-American community.
We asked Travis Henry, who says he grew up without a father in his home, what he thought of Obama's pointed statements.
He made a really good point, but of course my kids gonna fall short too, right? It's a cycle. If it's any way that I can try to make it happen without being in the house with them, I'm gonna try it.
Is what's happening in professional sports with children being born out of wedlock a microcosm of what's happening in society at large?
Absolutely. I think athletes are in the spotlight more, and they probably have more sex than the average person.
Some athletes say they are targeted by women who are trying to get pregnant in the hopes of being awarded lucrative child support payments. Do you hear that a lot? Hey, I was set up.
All the time. All the time. A lot of them are angry. A lot of them feel lied to, and they say they were set up.
Oh, tapping with the start.
Unlike Howard, some athletes don't fulfill their financial obligations. Former NBA player Jason Caffey, who has fathered 10 children by 8 women, has left a trail of unpaid child support.
I won't say that I hate him because that's a very strong word. He is Cameron's father. When I look at Cameron, he looks like Jason, but I do dislike a lot of the things that he has done.
We're playing number train, color train, every train.
I know.
Karen Russell and Caffey had a son, Cameron, while they were college students at Alabama. Although he played 8 years in the NBA, earning more than $28 million, Russell says he stopped paying child support soon after he retired in 2003. Now, Russell says Caffey owes her $125,000 in unpaid support.
When's the last time he made a payment?
2004.
So he hasn't paid anything since 2004?
No.
What do you think the court should do at this point about that?
I think they should put him in jail. I know a lot of people don't agree.
If it happens, it won't be the first time. In 2007, he was jailed for 1 week in Alabama for failing to pay support for a different child. In January, in yet another case, a Georgia judge issued a warrant for Caffey's arrest because of almost $200,000 in unpaid support.
I don't think Jason has actually learned anything from his past mistakes.
How much of a father has Jason been to Cameron?
He hasn't been one at all. Bottom line, you know, it's your child. We had him together. It's a joint responsibility.
Caffey has declined to be interviewed for this story.
Well, that's a given anyway. You still have to do that.
Cameron is now 15 years old, but he has seen his father just once since he was 3.
There's a picture of my dad. It's a basketball card. So it's in my wallet.
How long have you had that, probably?
Since, like, I was like 5, I've had this.
My daddy told me so.
As for Travis Henry, he says having so many children born out of wedlock will always be difficult for everyone involved.
I try to get all of them, you know, in the summertime when, you know, when they out of school, to try to get everybody, you know, let them know that, you know, it's your brother, it's your sister, have a relationship with them, because that's important to me, you know, even though they got different mothers, you know, I'm their dad.
You want the paper too?
Steve Delson reports.